Welcome back, students and parents. This video is for our hybrid students. This will give you information for the first day of school as well as some information for the upcoming school year. If you are one of our virtual students, please refer to the video links that were on the handout in your virtual facilitator's Google Classroom. The information for their Google Classroom was available on your schedule and in your orientation packet. So for my hybrid students, your first day of school, if you are hybrid A, you will attend school on Thursday, September 10th. If you are hybrid B, you will attend school on Friday, September 11th. Our regular schedule for hybrid students is hybrid A students. Your face-to-face days are Mondays and Tuesdays, with your virtual learning days at home on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. For our hybrid B students, your face-to-face days are Thursdays and Fridays, and your virtual learning days are Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We will start this schedule the week of September 14th. Our bell schedule has changed this year due to a couple different reasons. Number one, because we switched to a 7-period day, and number two, because we had to add instructional minutes to our day. So here is a copy of the bell schedule for Westgate High School. We will be providing a copy of this bell schedule in our Google Classrooms for our students. So you will have your copy. It was not placed in the student handbook this year because it changed a couple times. You will notice that because we have transitioned to a 7-period day, we no longer have an advisory period in the morning. Students go straight to their first period class. So for my car riders and drivers, you must be in the building by the 7:20 bell, since we have to do temperature checks now. Anyone who arrives after the first bell at 7:20 will have to be checked in by a parent. Please remember, since we are going straight to first period, that if students are late, they are missing instructional minutes. So if students are late after the 7:25 bell, this will be considered tardy for first period and disciplinary action will take place. So what does our school day look like? We know there are a lot of changes, and students and parents, let me put your mind at ease that the Westgate faculty and staff have been working very hard to make sure that things will run smoothly this school year. First and foremost, we do have to address face coverings and masks. Adults and students in grades 3 through 12 must wear face coverings that cover the mouth and nose. As per the guidelines from the Iberia Parish School District, face coverings or masks cannot have wording or emblems or insignias that suggest, promote profanity, obscenity, drugs, alcohol, tobacco use, political speech, or gang-related or hate slogans. They cannot contain images of faces, and bandanas are not an appropriate face covering. We have also recently found out that neck gaiters are no longer considered an appropriate face covering. I know we were selling them, and at the time that we were selling them, they were appropriate, and unfortunately the CDC came out with different guidelines. We will allow a brief grace period for students to secure an appropriate face covering, but gaiters will only be allowed for a short amount of time, and we will communicate that deadline with everyone. Face shields, the plastic face shields, are not considered an appropriate face covering either. If a student has a health condition that makes it unable for them to wear a face mask or covering, you must provide documentation to me so that we know that the student will not be wearing a face covering. What I will do at that point is I will meet with the student and we will inform teachers, but the student will keep a copy of the excuse from the doctor so that if any staff member stops them on campus, they can show verification that they are not required to wear a mask. So if that is the case for your student, please get that information to us as soon as possible. In the mornings, for my students who have been here for a couple years, mornings will look like alternate mornings. When we have you seated in either the auditorium or the gym and going to breakfast in shifts, that's kind of what our mornings will look like. We are going to only open 2 entrances each day. So we're going to take in the front doors of the school with the car rider line, and the back doors at the bus ramp. So for my student drivers, you will have to walk to the front of the building to enter the building, and that's where your temperature will be taken. Any student who records a temperature of 100.4 or higher will be isolated on campus, and a parent or guardian will have to pick them up. Students, when you enter, like I said, freshmen, might be a little bit new to you, but maybe not, because you probably did something similar on your middle school campus. We'll basically divide you up as to whether or not you want to eat breakfast or you don't want to eat breakfast, and then from there we will be giving you direction. But basically in the mornings, we will have students in the auditorium, the gym, the cafeteria, the main hall, and the 300 and 500 halls. As our staff members arrive, we will begin making announcements for students, and if their first period teacher is on campus before 7:20, they will start moving into their classrooms so that we have students appropriately socially distanced. Once again, at 7:20, we're going to report to first period. At 7:20, our buses for Career Campus are going to leave. So those of you that have Career Campus first period, please make sure, especially if you're a driver, that you get here early enough to eat breakfast and be ready to go when the buses are ready to go. When the tardy bell rings at 7:25, we're going to say the pledge. We're going to go over our PBIS expectations. We're going to say the mission statement, and then we're going to say have a tigerific day, and first period begins. We will no longer be doing morning announcements. Students, at the bottom of your schedule, there were some classroom codes for you to join a classroom for your grade level. That's where we will be posting all announcements. So to stay informed and stay up to date, you will need to join those classrooms. Classroom expectations. Each teacher, as always, will provide students with their classroom expectations and procedures. This will include some changes for how we're functioning this school year. So they're going to talk to students about how to enter and exit the classroom and maintain social distancing, about seating, and they're especially going to talk to you about your expectations on face-to-face days versus your expectation for your virtual learning days. We know this is different and it's going to take some adjustment, but I think we have a good plan for things to work out smoothly. Class changes. Class changes will be a little bit different. Our class transitions between starting with first to second period will include one-way hallways. So if you've been to grocery stores lately, you notice that some aisles you are only to go in one direction. And we are going to implement that throughout our school. Our hallways are clearly marked so you know which direction traffic will flow. This will involve some students going outside to transition to their classes, but we do have a plan for inclement weather days, and we will be practicing those with students so everyone is aware of this process. This is just a school map to kind of show you the different hallways and the arrows and their direction. And you can see here that our hallways are going to be clearly marked off. For my incoming freshmen, I know you didn't get to walk the building at orientation, but if you notice, we do have hallway signs all throughout the school, like the 100 and 200 hall signs that you see here. So you will be able to clearly find your classes. And we know the first couple days will be a learning process, so we're all going to be patient and cooperate with each other. Lunch will be a rolling lunch schedule, and it's going to be by your 5th period class now. Your 5th period teacher will inform you of your lunchtime and our lunchtime processes. Some classes will go straight to lunch when the bell rings, while some classes will go to class and then report to get their lunch. Some classes will eat in the cafeteria. Some will bring theirs back to their classroom, and we have also given teachers the option to allow students to eat outside, weather permitting. Dismissal in the afternoon, the dismissal bell is 2:43, and at that bell, we're only going to dismiss students whose buses are on campus at that time and drivers. That way, we have students exiting the building in basically only 2 directions. Once the building clears, then we'll release car riders and athletes who are remaining on campus for practice. So for my parents who would be picking up students, I would say if you were here by 2:45, that would be a good time to be in line to pick up your student. And then from there, we will release students as their buses arrive, because we don't want a large crowd gathering on the bus ramp. If it's your virtual day or you're a full virtual student, your coach will inform you of the process for attending practices. The first day of school, if you came to orientation, which hopefully you did, then you received a Chromebook agreement and the acceptable use agreement. Students need to bring these to school on either Thursday or Friday, whichever day you are attending, and it must be signed by the student and parent. This is the only way a student can receive a Chromebook. If you did not get them and you have a printer, you can go to the district website and go to departments at the top of the page, and then technology, and then agreements. We do have copies on campus, but your student will have to bring it home and get you to sign it and bring it back before we can issue a Chromebook. Just a little bit about Chromebook and virtual learning days. Parents, I know there's a lot of information out there. The Chromebook agreement is 8 pages long, and that's a lot of information, but we ask that you please review that so that you know everything about these new processes. There's some information here that can all be found on the district website about how to use Chromebooks and the policies. I do want to point your attention to Section 3 of the Chromebook agreement, which does say that the Chromebook has to be brought home every day and then returned to school when students come on campus. If they leave it at home, it's their responsibility to still keep up with their work. As it says, we might have loaners available, but that's not going to be a trend that we want to try and get into. Students need to bring their Chromebooks to their face-to-face days every day. And if you look at Section 3.3, it states that it is the responsibility of a student to fully charge their Chromebooks at home. So this is going to have to become a practice in the evenings to plug in your Chromebook at night so that it's fully charged. The charge should last the entire day, and we ask that you please leave your chargers at home. Don't even bring them to school. But once again, please refer to the entire agreement to know all the ins and outs of using a Chromebook this year. Daily attendance through the J Campus Student Progress Center. On your virtual learning days, students, it is going to be your responsibility to log in and mark yourself present. Your classroom teachers will go over this process with you on Thursday and Friday in a little bit more detail, and you'll have a handout that gives you information on how to do this. But this will provide you with an absence or to mark yourself present each day. When you're on campus, your teachers will take care of that, but when you're off campus, it's your responsibility to mark your attendance. Once again, parents will give the information to students on Thursday and Friday when they attend school. Some of you may have tried to log into your Google account and it may have told you that your password had changed. So the district did reset all of the accounts. So if your name is John Doe, then your login is lowercase j, lowercase d, and then your student ID number. If you need to log in, then you type that in, and then you go for your password. Once again, if your name is John Doe, then your password is capital J, lowercase d, and then your student ID number. So that's how you can log in. For our high school students, you will be prompted to create your own password. Please make sure it's something unique, and please make sure it's something that you can remember. Just a couple of other things to let you know about our processes. The entire Westgate staff will be appropriately sanitizing all areas of the building throughout the day. Our classrooms, our restrooms, the gym, the cafeteria, auditorium, office areas. Every part of the school will be sanitized throughout the day. We will have hand sanitizer available for students to use, but we also encourage them to wash hands when going to the restroom or when in the cafeteria and eating, to take advantage of that. Students may bring clear water bottles with a screw top. Cups with lids are not allowed. Water fountains are going to be available, but we ask that no one drink from the water fountain. You're going to use this to only refill your water bottle. We do have a Westgate Spirit School store. It was opened up for a couple weeks, and we've closed it down just for a little bit. The orders that were taken have been delivered to school. So if you didn't get that message, we'll make sure we get that information, the items to the students. We will be reopening the school. They have to take down the net gators and make a couple of changes to the school store. But it does have masks, uniform shirts, spirit shirts, and sweatshirts. So we will reopen that, and you will be able to place orders again. Your student will receive their normal homeroom packet when they come to school on Thursday and Friday. And here is the list of information that they will be receiving in addition to their student handbook. You will have an acknowledgement form that has this same information on it. Items 1 through 8 will have to be signed and returned to the school, and will give students instructions on who they need to return all of these items to. And just real quick for parents, visitors are going to be limited on campus this school year or for the time being. A visitor is defined as anyone who needs to gain access to the building past the attendance desk or past the front lobby. So only those with essential business will be allowed to enter the building, and we encourage you to make an appointment or call ahead to make sure the staff member is going to be available to meet with you. Because of the size of our waiting areas in our offices, we ask that you please don't bring extra people or family members with you when you come to take care of anything on campus. No one will be allowed to go into the building until we confirm that the person you're here to see is available to meet with you. You must sign in and out on our visitor school log. All visitors will have their temperature checked and documented, and visitors must wear face coverings covering the mouth and nose. Once again, face shields are not acceptable. We ask, as always, that you wear your visitor's pass when you're in the building so it clearly identifies where you are going. If you just need to come drop something off in the front office or check a student in, we are going to ask that you please maintain 6-foot social distancing. And if there's too many people in the lobby, then we're going to have to ask some people to wait outside, and that's going to be the same process for guidance. Parents, if you need to drop something off to a student, students will not be called out of class so that you can see them at that time. You will leave the item at the front desk, and we will call students out during class transition times. We want to preserve as much instructional minutes as we can. And so we appreciate your help and support with that. I hope that this video has provided you with enough information to get started for the school year. We strongly encourage you to like and follow us on Facebook. We put lots of updates on there. We are updating the website as well, but Facebook is a lot quicker to update and get information out quick. We are going to still make use of the automated phone calls. Once again, to students, please make sure you join the Google Classroom for your grade level. And if you have any questions, it's easiest to probably email the staff member that you have a question for. So for students, a lot of times the best place to start is with your guidance counselor, and they can usually point you in the right direction. So we look forward to a great school year. It's been a while since we've seen a lot of you and had you in our building, and we're just looking forward to a great school year. We know that patience and cooperation is going to be the key to this school year. And once again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. So to my A-Day students, we will see you Thursday. And to my B-Day students, we will see you Friday.